Hey everyone, Brian Whiting here. Hey, just as you can see in the car here, trying to hide out from the family now that everybody's home. It's a little bit of a challenge to find a quiet spot to do a video. Trying to get up early enough before they all wake up, but you never know with kids; they come rushing in and be distracting. So here we are in the car, and I just have so much uh, to share with you guys, and especially in this time. I mean, this is an unprecedented time, and there's so much I want to share, and it's kind of hard to do it in 5 minutes so that it's easy for y'all to watch. So I'm going to try to put these out just quick and simple and on a regular basis throughout the week. And now in this time of trial, it's more than ever evidence that it's time for us to put our money where our mouth is. As believers, it is time for us to put our money where our mouth is. Do we believe this stuff or do we not? And it's really, I mean, here it is. There's no, I mean, the time is now. The trial has begun. It's not theory anymore. It's now. Do you believe that God's going to protect you? Do you believe that God's going to keep you healthy? Do you believe that He's going to bless you and keep you? Now is the time. And there's so many other pastors out there, and have been saying this for years, is that we just need to trust and believe God, that we just need to have faith and walk with God. And that is great information, but honestly, I feel like it's not helpful. I just lost my lights. Here, let me see if I can turn them back on. There we go. My lighting crew just quit on me. Uh, so anyway, I don't. It's not exactly helpful. You know, it's if anybody out there has ever wakeboarded or water skied, telling somebody to just believe God is like telling somebody that's never wakeboarded or water skied to just stand up. Like, just stand up. That's all you have to do. That is not helpful. And if there is something, I mean, a lot of people probably haven't wakeboarded or water skied, obviously, but just imagine something that is extremely difficult. And with water skiing and wakeboarding especially, the hardest part is getting up. The hardest part is trying to get out of the water. So if you're a brand new person, all you're doing is sitting there in the water with not a clue one, and you have to go from 0 to 20 miles an hour skidding across the water without a clue on how to do that. Like, what maneuvers, how do you do? I don't know how many people I have taught to wakeboard and water ski, but it's probably around 30 or so, give or take a few. And and it's a process, and it's not like you can convey it with words. It's like you hit there, it hits you, the boat pulls you, you got to turn this way, and then you wait till this happens, and then you're up against the water, and then you turn, and then you go. That that doesn't help. And and really, actually telling somebody to stand up before it's time to stand up is actually detrimental. So let me just give you a picture of it. So here you are in the water, floating. You got your life jacket on, and you got the board in front of you, and you're ready to go. There's a rope between you and the boat, and you got a 6,000-pound boat with 400 horsepower getting ready to rip your arms off. And you're like, hit it, okay? So the the point from 0 to 20 miles an hour where you're skidding across the water, and then that's when you start wakeboarding. It is a challenge like no other, because it's a feeling, and uh and you have to do it just right. If you don't do it just right, you're gonna plow through the water, which with a big old wakeboard on, plowing through the water isn't really helpful, and then it's just about how long you can hold on, or you get going and then face plant over the board and then over again. So I feel that's the same way with God. We're telling people to believe God and walk with God and just have faith is kind of like telling somebody to stand up. That's not helpful. And so how do we break it down? How do we break the idea of faith down? And there's lots of definitions of faith, and there's lots of definitions of believing and what have you, but I think for all intents and purposes it's really just trust. It's trust. Do you trust God or not? Do you trust what he says or not? Do you trust what the Bible says or not? Do you trust that his way will work over your way? And that's what it really comes down to. Faith is just trust. Now, we all know that we're supposed to love one another no matter what. But trusting one another is a whole nother ballgame. And only a fool trusts people that are not trustworthy. And so trust is a process. To trust someone is a process, and it takes time. So like you meet somebody off the street, you don't just hand them your wallet and say, hey, I'm in a hurry. I really need you to help me out. Can you go buy something for me and bring it back here? Are you going to do that? No. Are you going to do that with your best friend? Heck yeah, not a worry. Not a worry. So what's the difference? The difference is time and showing one trustworthy. Get that? It's showing one trustworthy. God has to show himself trustworthy for us to trust him. Not only do we need to understand that God is trustworthy, we have to actually show ourselves trustworthy to God. That we can listen to more, that we have to show that we can trust God, and like believe in our heart that we can trust God. So what is that? I mean, so that is a process that happens not just because you go to church on a Sunday and that you read the Bible every once in a great while. The process is to show when God is trustworthy, that he is trustworthy, and the time that it takes from him showing you a promise, or you seeing a promise, or you hearing him, and then it being fulfilled. That is a process. And so how can we speed that process up? How can we actually encourage that process? And the only way to do that is to spend time with him. The only way to do that is to spend time. And how do you spend time with God? Well, you have to meditate. You have to take time out of the day to be quiet and relax and quiet your mind to hear his voice. And what is his voice? His voice is just an impression in our hearts. And so to tell you, just listen to God, that is exactly the same as telling someone to stand up on a wakeboard. Just listen. Well, it's a process, and you have to do it yourself. It's a process that nobody else can do. Your pastor can't do it. The guy on TV can't do it. The guy down the street can't tell you how to do it. You have to do that on your own. You have to take the time to do that on your own. And reading the Bible, taking time to read the Bible on a daily basis to see what's in there, to understand what's in there, to actually see how you can apply it. So what we do is we take time every day to read the Bible, and then we meditate on that and see what God says about it. A lot of times I don't get some amazing revelation. I just get understanding of the Bible, and I see things in the Bible that make sense now. When I take time to read it and listen to it and then apply it into your life. See, that's the thing. We can get all the information in the world, and we have access to all the information in the world, but can we apply it into our life? Because the Bible is useless if you can't apply it into your life. It's useless. It's just an old book. But if you apply it into your life and then you have success, that's how trust is earned. See, trust is always earned. It is never given. So how do we trust God? Well, we have to spend time with him. We have to take time out of our day to spend time. And you know what I've been doing? Excuse me. What I've been doing is listening to the Bible. It's a lot easier for me to listen than to sit down and read. Because if I read, 3 chapters, it takes me like 45 minutes. But if somebody else is reading it, it takes like 15 minutes. So find a great app. Find an app that just reads the Bible to you and start. And there's a lot of reading plans out there that you can read the Bible in a year, the whole Bible in a year, and just listen to it. And it's like 15, 17 minutes for a couple, 3 chapters in the Old Testament, a couple chapters in the New Testament, Psalms, whatever. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing that since the beginning of the year pretty solidly. And it's amazing how much just revelation and understanding you get just by just taking every day to listen to the Bible and read it. And then spending every day taking time to be quiet. Doesn't have to be an hour. Doesn't have to be 2 hours that you're stuck in a closet somewhere. No, just take 15 minutes to be quiet, to be relaxed, and to be quiet and to listen. That's all you got to do. So 15 minutes reading the Bible, 15 minutes being quiet. You can listen to the Bible while you're doing the dishes. I have my Bluetooth. I love this thing. Everybody probably thinks I'm a nut job because I carry it on my ear all the time. It's always there. But I just listen. Boom. Hit it. Listen. I'm doing the dishes. I'm cleaning. I'm driving. Whatever. Just listen 15, 17 minutes every day. And how do... Oh, geez. Lost the lights again. Jeez. I'm going to have to call the lighting guy. See what's going on. So anyway. So how... The process of learning to trust God and walk with God is just that. It's a process. And the best way to do it is to first start reading the Bible. Second, to meditate and listen. So prayer, so just to give you meditation, and a lot of people out there don't know what meditation is. It's yoga or whatever. God invented meditation, and it's in the Bible a long time before yoga ever was invented. Meditation is just taking time to be quiet and listen to God. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. And the simple definition. And that's all we got to do. And that's how we're going to get through this situation. That's how we're going to get through what we got to do to survive what's going on in the world. And it's not just for this situation. That's for life. All right. I hope this blesses you. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys, if you have any questions or anything like that. Follow me on YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook, follow me on YouTube. And then you can get updates right away. But I just speak life over this country. I speak just life over the leadership to make good decisions. And everybody in it, and I command death. I speak death over this virus. I speak death over this virus, that it will not be able to infect. I curse it, that it will not be able to infect people, that it will lose its ability to spread, and that it will lose its effectiveness on people, that it will not make people as sick. And I just command life into everybody. And I thank you for watching this, and just pray blessings over you. Amen. Have a great day, and be watching for more.